The Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast is a roundtable conversational podcast that gives a voice to the Black experience.
Millennials from New York City sharing our views on Black lifestyle, culture, relationships, religion, and current events.
Here at SR, we strive to give our listeners the real in a world of fake.
Worldly professionals with class that also know how to switch it up.
Now let's talk our wild shit.
All right, let's do this, y'all.
We live.
We live.
What it do?
What's good,
Hey,
tribe?
Goody.
What's poppin'?
Good.
Welcome back to another episode of the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast. If you don't know, we are the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast. I am your moderator for today. It's your boy, aka the Mash. Spew got drip. Please hit motherfucker.
Drip, drip.
We out here, gang, with the gang.
Drip, drip.
So if you don't know what we do here at Sophisticatedly Ratchet, we serve the real in the world of fake. There are 5 beautiful millennials here we got, and I'm gonna start with everybody's favorite fuckboy. You know him from a hood near you. You know what I mean? You might catch him. They used to have like when there was like crimes at night. They used to put the signal in the air and they say HSD. You already know who they was calling out of the shadows. It comes to the
Only at 12. Only at 12.
Pussies get wet. Pussies just get wet. Not these pussies, they get wet automatically.
All day.
Automatically,
All
wet
right?
pussy. Just out of
They all
nowhere.
side. They all side pieces. All right, yo, this is your boy Shake. Y'all already know me, Mr. Y'all freaking the HSD, Mr. HSD, and the AFF. You know what I'm talking about? Leave the last F silent, and today the F will be fuel.
Today's favorite.
America's favorite fuel.
That's a fact.
Hey,
That's
hey,
a fact,
hey.
baby. That's
My
a
nigga.
fact.
What's America's favorite fuel? What grade? What grade fuel you use?
Man, I'm 97. I'm 97, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
I was making
Does that
sure.
exist?
You're a high octane type of nigga. That's cool.
I
got
take
diesel?
high octane. Way further than
up.
diesel, baby.
Okay.
Not a clean energy. Yo, I'm gonna swing it over to my man, the philosopher, who be philosophizing and always dropping down the science. You know, you beard gang all day, aka. Do we still call you Tink Tink? Are we taking Tink Tink out of that?
Ting ting.
I mean, y'all call it whatever. I mean, I'm just here. I accept it.
All right,
all.
big. Hey, what? Speak your truth, King.
All right. Hey, y'all. It's me. Yeah, it's your favorite yoni tickler. All right, yeah. Today I am I'm the potent pursuer of potential. Okay, it is your boy Flash the philosopher. It is he. It is me. It is I. What up?
My boy.
Hey, Flash.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what we going to with it next.
Oh, you already know.
We would be remiss.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? We don't even speed this up. We gotta give it a sec. We gotta give it 3 seconds of wave. Let my nigga know when you step into the New York area, if you swinging through the Bronx, you gotta get clearance from somebody.
How many bombs you get?
Right.
Exactly.
When you walk into her section, you make sure you send the bird call first, because you don't want to come in there without a hall pass. One more bomb, my nigga.
You gotta do it 3 times.
I did 3. I think you want me to stop at 3.
Yeah,
I think you want me to stop at 3. 3 was... Okay, go ahead. Go
Talk
on.
your shit, queen.
No, I meant the bird call. 3
What's
times.
good, everybody? What's good, tribe? It's your girl Mo. Of course, you know I hail from Co-op City, Section 5. Don't ever zone my shit. I represent
Gang.
everything Bronx. You heard?
Gang.
X.
Gang, BX all day.
All right, and last but not least, everybody's favorite
Yes.
frozen one. All right. If you've been in New York, you know she been in the town, out of town because the weather's been kind of wonky. She ain't been consistent with it. All right. But one thing's for sure, she gonna pop out and freeze you niggas in place. You know who we talking about here. Everybody's favorite. Ice Queen. How are you feeling?
I'll take my applause. I'm taking my applause. Hi, tribe. It's TJ, the Unicorn Gemini, and I bring duality to the podcast. What up, tribe?
Gang. What's popping? And yo, can we just swing right into our favorite 20 seconds? Flash, you gonna hit her up, my homie?
Give my 20 second. Give my 20 twin. What up, tribe? So we are the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast, and you can hear us every Wednesday. We drop new episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon has podcasts. Then head over to our IG on at
Yeah,
So Ratchet Podcast.
Don't even remember that.
On TikTok at So Ratchet
Yeah.
Podcast. On Twitter at So Ratchet Pod. And right here on YouTube, where you can see our beautiful and handsome faces on at So Ratchet Space Podcast. Hit the like button right now. Hit the follow button right now. Hit the subscribe button right now. Any notification button right now.
hit the
Any
bell
button. Hit all the
button,
buttons.
the
Just do
hearts.
this.
Okay,
Everywhere.
double tap everywhere.
Everywhere.
We deserve it.
Okay.
Oh,
Facts.
by the way. Okay, thank you, TJ.
Follow us.
So now that we got our intros out of the way, tribe, if you're new to the tribe, we just want to say welcome. If you're a consistent member of the tribe, thank you for coming back. We love you all very much. Anytime you can share our work, talk about us with a friend to a friend. The tribe supports the tribe. We appreciate you. We want to continue to grow for 2023. And in our journey of growth and self-discovery, we try to get 1% better every day. So at the end of the year, we could be 300%, 360% better.
That's a lot.
That's the math on that one.
Yeah,
we doubling up. We tripling up.
Yeah, it may not be.
You know what I mean? We just trying to get there. We're trying to get there. But in order to do that, we need to have our chakras in alignment. And who does that better? No one better than the Ice Queen. We're gonna hit her with that.
Actually, you guys do that.
I mean, you ring the bell though.
I mean, you can play an intro though.
I gotta wait. Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah, we wait.
I was waiting for that too.
I said it was gonna be a great ass day. I won't accept nothing else. Nothing bad will enter my day. Say that shit like you mean it. Howl it. No bad days.
Almost had a bad day. I'm positive.
Facts. I need an emoji that does this. Like,
you
fuck
need to
out of
chill
here.
in
Like,
emojis.
period.
You
Nah.
need to chill in the
I do
emojis.
too many emojis. Fuck y'all. Okay.
Yeah, we use up all your emojis and other things.
TG wants another cutoff emoji and shit.
I am the ice queen.
Humana.
Whatever. Tribe, no bad days. Not today, not to tomorrow. No day of the week should be a bad day for you. And that's because you're going to align your chakras. And you can start right here on the Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast, where you get to learn about the chakras and understand how it's going to affect you spiritually, emotionally, physically. And today, I'm starting with the first chakra. It's the root chakra. It's located at the base of your spine in the what area, Flash?
In my tape.
Yes, you got it. The gooch. So yeah, she always says it's in his gooch and his taint, and that's correct. So it's at the base of your spine, and it's the chakra that's responsible for us feeling grounded. It's the chakra that's also responsible for us feeling like we belong exactly where we are and we're stable. When it's unbalanced, you may feel like you're not focused. You may feel like you're being dependent on other people, even restlessness. You may even feel abandoned. You may have some anxiety, be fearful, insecurity, or you just may be negative. Or if you're around anybody like this, you could be like, yo, your root chakra ain't aligned, homie. Like, let me help you with that, okay? Because it's important. If that. Because it's important who you surround yourself with, tribe. You know what I mean? You want to be around positive people where everybody's chakras are aligned. And start with yourself. And so some affirmations that you can say, and I love these affirmations. I think we do a mental health check-in because it's not what we do just for y'all, tribe. We do this because we're genuine friends, and I encourage you to do this with your friends too. But one of the affirmations I said today, and just matched for the root chakra, is you are responsible to create whatever it is that you want in your life. You are responsible for your success. And you're also responsible for your failure, but that's negative. So let's say, well, you're responsible for your success, and let's focus on the success and what you got to do to get that success. Another good affirmation that I like is the universe will always provide what I need. Another one is you belong here right now. You're supposed to be here right now. That's another good one. And let me see what else I have. I choose to trust the universe to guide me and release all of my doubts and fears. You guys like that one?
I like that. Sure.
Okay, good. So focus on any of those affirmations that resonate with you, tribe. Go ahead and think about that. Take a nice deep breath in.
All right, down.
Oh, did I wait? Yeah, wait. Did I tell you that the root chakra was red?
I
It's
don't
red.
remember, but we see
It's
it
red.
now.
It's red. And you can surround yourself with anything red to remind you of the root chakra, okay? Even if it's eating red foods, stuff like that, okay?
Let me eat an
So
apple.
go ahead and focus on a red apple.
got a
Make
red
sure
shirt.
that it's organic and scrape all the wax off of it first. Okay. Anyway, I digress. All right. So take a nice deep breath in. You're thinking about the affirmation that resonates with you. And a deep breath out. Okay. That was kind of janky. That was kind of
that was the
janky.
warm up.
Yeah, that was kind of janky. It just started moving on the pillow. So I'm gonna just take the pillow up and just tie it on my hand, okay?
Okay. Okay. We're gonna cut that.
A
we're
little
gonna cut
shorter
that
than the
first one
normal
out.
chakra
No,
alignment. It's a
y'all
little
never
shorter
gonna
than the
cut this
other
shit
ones.
out because this is what y'all do. Every time the chakras fuck up, y'all still play it, but it's okay.
Sure, we
because
will, TJ.
That was meant
Sure
to
we will.
happen for the people in the back, the tribe members that were not ready. If you haven't
Loosen up your
thought about,
gooch. Loosen up your gooch.
loosen-
All right, get your
Actually,
gooch
let's
ready this
tighten up
time.
the
For real.
gooch real quick, right? And so, ladies, that's your Kegel muscles, and guys, that's your Kegel muscles too. I guess it's
Mhm.
whatever you do to make your dick go like this. I know y'all do that all the time. I've seen you do
Kegels,
that
same
shit.
thing. It's still
Thanks,
Kegels.
TJ.
too.
Kegels,
Doing it
okay.
right now.
So go ahead, tighten it. Deep breath in and exhale and let it go. No bad days.
Flick of that
Take
wrist.
two.
Hey, that flick of
Y'all
that
felt
wrist.
that in y'all gooch?
You got that
Yo,
flick of
yo,
that
I
wrist.
haven't gonna hold you. You know
Hey.
what I did though? And this is I don't even know if this is
What?
appropriate or not.
Clenched
But
up?
I was flexing my gooch the whole time. I tried to see how many flexes what's it, Kegels? How many God Kegels I could get off while you was doing the thing? I got 35.
Oh, you was fast with it. Okay. Okay, Jack Rabbit. Okay. Hey.
Niggas a
Jack
gooch
Rabbit in
machine.
effect.
Exercising his
Okay.
pelvic
All right.
Right, the pelvic thrusts he was
Short
utilizing.
T
Right.
traded.
No bad days.
See, bro.
No bad days.
All right. So now that we have had our chakras aligned and we all agree that there'll be no bad days,
None.
we're gonna swing over to our next segment with everybody's favorite fuel.
No shit.
Word of the week. Word of the
Word of
week.
the week.
Word of the week.
Word of the week. Word of the week. Word of the week.
Word of the week. Word of the week.
Okay.
I know this nigga
All right,
read the
ladies.
intro. Go ahead.
All right. Hey guys, it's your boy Shake, and I'm here to bring you today's word of the week. All right. Today's word of the week is malinger. Malinger. And it means to exaggerate or feign illness in order to escape duty or work. And let me spell it for you. Malinger. Malinger. All right.
No linger.
And Malinger.
Nalinga.
All right.
Johnson. Hey.
No, don't let me. Don't stop on my
Sleeping
count. Don't stop on me
Okay.
count.
Okay,
You was
so
in red,
God,
too.
so let me do a sentence with the word malinga.
Yo, tap
All
Mo.
right. No, I know.
Punch her in the punch her in the head.
She like an auntie.
Punch her in the head, Nash. You got her right there.
I didn't even know it hit you.
Yo.
Silly ass.
Oh my God. Yo, all right. So my boss, when I told my boss that I was sick after I had requested PTO, he immediately thought that I was malingering. Malinger. Okay.
Malinger. So malingering is the other word we could use for that.
To
Malingering.
exaggerate or feign illness in order to escape duty or work. Let's say you got even if let's say you are really sick, but you acting like you like dead sick. Oh my God.
So to
That's
exaggerate.
That's malingering. Yes, that's malingering to exaggerate. And
Okay.
then I brought this for the sloth episode because malinga.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like this. I like this. I like. Good job, Shake. I appreciate that word. Exaggerate or feign illness. Okay.
And tribe, if you don't know what no linga is a Jamaican dance Who knows who sings that song?
I just know how to do the dance. I don't know who sings it.
Okay, yeah.
I want to
don't
say
know who
Elephant
sings
Man,
it.
but I'd be wrong.
I want to say that. Yeah. I want to say
Okay.
elephant. Move your foot to the left and drop your finger.
Keep your foot
No
to the
linger.
side. Yes.
And drop your
As
finger.
a Jamaican,
No
I'm ashamed that I
linger.
don't know.
No linger.
I mean, we
Yeah.
could just Google it to pay that man his respect.
No
right?
linger. No linger.
Clarity Queen, who sings that song?
Yeah, she's a Jamaican bombshell. She should know.
Okay, it is Elephant Man. You're 100%
Is
right.
Elephant Man?
Elephant Man.
Shout out to the Yankees who know what's going on.
Shout out
in
to
the
Elephant Man.
The energy god himself.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Just to remind the tribe that today's subject, we're talking about one of the 7 deadly sins.
What's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
7 deadly sins. I want to say it's Greek mythology. Or what is it? Ancient? We're gonna say it's ancient. Let's call it ancient. That covers a big gambit of time spans. Ancient belief that your soul can be cleansed once you remove these sins. Right? There are different aspects to it. There are Hello? Test.
Yep.
You good?
Yes.
There are different aspects to the 7 deadly sins. There are 7 of them. And believe it or not, this is a series, right? It may not drop out in succession, but just know that this episode is about sloth, the sloth sin. Okay. And what exactly is the sloth sin? Well, if you know anything about the animal kingdom, there is an animal called the sloth, right? He's pretty slow, right? If you watch Zootopia, his name is Flash. You should check out Zootopia Flash. It's a pretty good movie.
I feel like I have. I just don't remember the character.
I love that movie. I love the sloth in it. All the sloths work. They work at the DMV and they mad slow.
And just
like, let me take your picture, and they take mad long, and everybody knows that the DMV is mad slow.
And just a heads up. Just a heads up, guys. The 7 deadly sins are from Roman Catholic theology.
Gang. Appreciate you.
That is not a shake fact, y'all.
That is not a shake fact. He's trying to clean his name out here. He's trying to clean his name out here. Get some facts under his belt.
Can we get the AI to verify that though?
Nah, I trust him on this one.
Yeah, I mean, sins.
Something different, but okay.
It's definitely.
So sloth, according to the definition that we have here, it is a Latin derivative word that's called tristitia, right? Which also means without a care, and refers to a particular jumble of notions dating to inequity and including with mental, spiritual, pathological, and physical states. It may be defined as absence of interest or habitual disinclination to exert. So basically, what I'm reading here is this absence of interest, right? So
that's fair.
Sloth, it's AKA laziness, right? So this is how sloth is defined. Sorry, I should have put that under there for the people on YouTube who are watching us. We got these banners on the bottom that helps give you more context exactly what it is that we're speaking about here.
So Ratchet Space Podcast on YouTube.
All right.
Tell them again, TJ. They know to find us. That's right. So yeah, if you can purge your body of the 7 deadly sins, you can become a perfect being. These are one of them that we want to get off of our body. We don't want to be lazy. We don't want to have sloth inside of us because it just doesn't promote a healthy lifestyle, right? So first talking point that I have for the team is I want to talk about sloth in terms of complacency, right? So my question to you all is, when does complacency turn into sloth, right? Because sloth is about not having an interest. When you're complacent, in my mind, I think you're not driven or you're not striving for better because you're in a comfortable situation. I think a lot of us require an extreme level of uncomfortability to make changes in our lives most times, right? It's either got to be too cold or too hot, but if it's just right, you're going to stick there and you'll stick there for as long as it's feeding your need. I think that that's really pivotal in knowing when and how to move in a situation. What are your thoughts on that? Try.
Go ahead, Mom.
No, I agree to what you stated. I also feel that fear may allow someone to be complacent because they're so comfortable where they are when they're thinking about either starting all over again or sometimes when you are the last person in, they always say you're the last one to hire, first one to get fired. So when you start thinking of things in that situation, you do become complacent. And then now you're turning into a sloth, as you stated. So I think in situations like that, those particular things can occur when you're fearful. Fearful can run that. Being fearful can run that kind of issues around that.
Mhm.
Fearful of what though, Mo? Like
The
fearful.
unknown, because you don't know. Fearful of not knowing. Fear of I'm
Mm-hmm.
going into this new space, but I don't know anything about it. Or fear of, oh my God, now I have to start over. Just the fear of the unknown that you're
Yeah,
telling yourself,
yeah, I
you
get
know?
that. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so you're frozen. It's like you're not gonna make that move for yourself,
Right.
because you're so worried about maybe like what the unknown that might happen and shit. My fault, Mark. I didn't mean to cut you off. You complete?
I'm complete. You're good. Yeah,
Oh,
you're good.
okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I kind of agree with some of the stuff you were saying too, Mo, because I feel like a lot of when I think about like sloth and when it like when there's something becomes slothish or whatever, it's like yeah, sometimes it's fair. I think you're complacent because yes, you're not finding enough interest in something that you want to do. Something is not either triggering you or getting this what's like the feel good hormones out of maybe like the work that you're
Endorphins.
doing. Yeah, the endorphins and all that other shit. And sometimes I feel like if we're not driven by something or we don't find the things that we like, or sometimes if we don't even like test the waters to see like, hey, what are the things I'm interested in, you're not gonna have maybe like a pull in a certain direction. So some of us kind of sometimes don't give ourselves maybe the spark sometimes
Mhm.
to figure out like, hey, this thing is really interesting to me and I should kind of lock in on that and follow whatever that is because it's hard to find that sometimes in a world where we're fed so much different like lifestyles and things that we're trying to do for either money or fame and all this other shit. And
Right.
it's like those things drive people. So it's like when you have nothing that's giving you maybe that inspiration sometimes. So maybe that's maybe where I see Sloth. It's like, yeah, nothing inspires you. You're not feeding yourself that thing that's supposed
Mhm.
to like give you that energy. Because we have I feel like we have a lot of limitless potential with a lot of shit. And it's like
Mhm.
if you don't know what taps into that energy, you'll never fulfill that portion of you. So
Facts.
that's kind of
Mhm.
what I see with Sloth and when I think about like Sloth and
And
complacency.
I'll piggyback on that. For me, I feel like when I'm not motivated,
Mhm.
um, when I'm just in my comfort zone, I don't even want to do anything different. I'm just okay with just waking up, going to this mundane job, getting
Mhm.
my paycheck, and doing whatever the hell I want with it. Like I'm okay, like I'm complacent. I'm comfortable. I'm in my comfort zone. I'm not motivated. That's what makes me feel like a sloth or
Mhm.
feeds into that sloth energy, that laziness. And I think that's dangerous as fuck.
Mhm.
Because I feel like you're not, unless that is your goal and that's what you want to
Mhm.
do. But if you feel like it's lazy or you feel like you're being complacent and that doesn't feel good for you, then you're not doing what your spirit tells you to do or what God has created you to do,
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
feel like that's a very dangerous place to be in.
Mm.
You want to be where you feel like you're supposed to be. And I think that if you're
Mhm.
supposed to be there, you won't feel like you're being complacent. You won't feel like it's being lazy. You'd feel motivated to go to work and do it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
A little
Mhm.
Yeah,
bit.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, for me, I feel like complacency and sloth are not the same thing. I feel like it could be similar, but it's not the same.
For
Because I'm gonna be
sure.
honest with you, this whole complacency thing is more the millennials. People in our age group. We see a lot of the things that the previous generation was doing as complacency or sloth. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they feel comfortable where they are. You know what I'm saying? They
Correct.
want to be where they are. They don't want to excel. They want to stay where they're
Mm-hmm.
at, and they got a good job. They got good benefits, and they're good there. But we're always looking for that next opportunity to grow because we're always
Mm-hmm.
trying to grow. I feel like this generation is so different from the previous generation because the previous generation was people who basically stayed at this job for 30 years, got their retirement
Yes.
and left. And now
Fact.
it's like with us, it's like I'll stay 2 years, get the experience, and move on. And I'm trying to continue to
Yeah.
grow. And we see that, when other people are doing that, like staying in the same place for long, we see it as being sloth, but they're just happy where they are.
Yeah.
That they're late. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm quick to tell people, yo, you need to advance. You need to move to the next level. But that's not always for everybody. So I
Mm.
don't think it's the same thing.
I think it's a time difference. Oh, I know you want to go, Mash, but can I just say
No,
this?
go ahead, go ahead. No,
I
go
think
ahead.
it's the time frame. Like back in the day, holding on to a job showed that you were stable, showed that you were secure. And and I think it meant more back in the day. Because when you were applying for a job, they wanted to see longevity on your resume. Why were you not at this job for more than 2 years? Why were they're asking questions like that? But nowadays, it pays for you to
Absolutely.
stay with a job, leave, and go ahead and ask for more money at another
Absolutely.
company, or
Absolutely.
employer. That's how it works nowadays, but it has changed. And shout out to my mother. She just retired for doing 35 years
Nice.
at
Shout
my
out, mama.
hospital. Yeah. Shout out to her. And as a mother providing for her kids, she knew she needed stability, and a lot of us millennials are like, fuck it. God will figure it out. The universe will figure it out. Like, I'll get another job. There's a lot of young people that have that mentality, like, fuck this job, I'm gonna quit,
But-
and don't even have nothing else lined up sometimes.
Yeah, that's the fact. Yeah,
You
this
know?
generation Z
And
is.
our
Oh my
parents would have
God.
never done that shit,
I think
and
that's
have
a-
nothing
Yeah.
lined up. Like,
But-
nah.
But
I
you
think that's
know,
touching on a lot of different things, though. And, Shake
go ahead,
says
man.
that the previous generation, he's talking about the baby boomers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But my whole thing is, right, there's a certain sense of pride that comes along with being able to say you committed with something for a certain amount of time, right?
Facts,
That's a fact.
marriage,
Absolutely.
everything, yeah.
I gotta say I got a certain level of respect for somebody who could do that. But then I also think about the trade-off of time versus, like what you got out of the value of that time, right?
Yeah.
30 years at a place, you could have advanced further if you left somewhere else, but then you wouldn't build those same level of relationships in the 30 years. You wouldn't have been able to
Correct.
establish that legacy as a role model here at this place, But then I also think about how the next generation, the Gen Zers, how they would like, and this is speaking from my personal opinion, they expect all of the fruits of the labor of someone who's been in a job for 30 plus years very quickly. Right. So
Yes, they do.
that quick advancement
Yes.
is really unrealistic as far as the expectation to work somewhere a year, start at like 60, and next year I need to make 200. Be like, I mean, I know you want to. Like, I know you're ambitious, and I know you got the desire, and I want you to have that. But sometimes you got to taper your expectations when it comes to things like that, or move to another company like you probably should, because that seems to be a winning strategy these days, right? The mindset's different. The mental programming is different. We were taught, us millennials were taught, get a good city job, get you a job that you can retire with. This is something that you want to think about for your future. But I don't want to pour 20, 30 years into a place just because. I think that that's not an effective use of your time, only because you can branch out and learn more in 10 years each different place rather than 30 in one. Right, your circle expands tremendously when you have that type of experience.
But it depends though, because I feel like there's different. I feel like there's different workplaces that kind of give people a lot of perspective, and they're still able to do what they want. And sometimes I think we attach like sloth to maybe like our financial situations, and it's not necessarily that it ever has to be that. Like you can.
What do you mean by that?
Like I guess you can be at a job and you can bust your ass at your job. You could do very great at your job. I don't think even being in a job a long time is a bad thing, because some people are effectively just really good at what they do and they love what they do at the same time. So it's like they're providing a great service because they also bring in like this expertise. So I don't even think that's complacent sometimes. I think I feel like you could still evolve even if you're at in a place for a very long time. It just and it may look different to how you evolve, but I can say you still can learn a lot.
Question. Let's I love hypotheticals. This is what I do here. Let's say you were working at a company for 15 years in the same position. No vertical growth. All just I'm the highest paid guy in this bracket. I'm not trying to get better. I'm not doing worse. I'm here in this nice sweet spot. Would you all define that as complacency? Do you think that's being complacent?
It depends.
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's where I feel like
Go ahead.
Say that again. Yeah.
No, I
You said
feel
you've
like
been
that's.
in-
I feel like that's a good question. I feel like that's where I am at my job, but it's because my interest is not there. I'm working on so many other things. Like the podcast is what feeds my spirit right now. And it's gonna feed my pocket soon. And so I don't give a fuck about the job. I just needed to pay my bills. I'm on salary. You know, I'm part-time. Like I just go and do it. But it's complacent. You know what I mean? Like I'm a charge nurse and I'm stuck there.
Do you think that this beautiful podcast that we have is a healthy distraction from that complacency?
It is. It is. It is. And it also pays my bills. You know what I'm saying? So I just do the bare minimum, what I need to do there to pay my bills and go travel and do what I got to do. But do I care about that job enough? No, I don't.
Yeah. I mean,
so I would be complacent.
I don't think complacency is all that bad sometimes. Like I was saying, like, you know, like I said, if you are in that sweet spot, you feel like you're making that money and you're happy where you're at,
then
complacency it's still complacent, but it's not a negative thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, but you had brought up something key a few minutes ago, talking about how unrealistic the Generation Z is sometimes are when it comes to these jobs. And to be honest with you, their lack of complacency is kind of sloth, right?
Wait, so how you figure?
Them wanting to be at $200,000 without actually putting in the work. That's the laziness right there. For me, that's the sloth right there. So it depends on how
you wouldn't see that as ambitious.
No, I would see it as sloth. I would see that as them wanting it want the easiest route to get to that point.
And that's smart though. That's smart as fuck though.
They don't want to put in the work to get to that point. Now, can you actually get to that point without actually doing the work? If they can, they're geniuses. But some of them will quit their job without having another job in line because they have these unrealistic expectations, and that generally leads to sloth.
What are your thoughts, Mo?
I'm gonna say kind of the same thing as Shake. If the person has been there, you said 15 years, they're not moving up, they're not moving down, but they're enjoying being in this sector.
It's not even about how happy they are. This is just what this is their trajectory as an employee. They're not getting up, they're not going down. They're at the cap for their space. No, I'm just saying. No. I'm saying just time-wise and growth. Right? This person for 15 years, they're at this space and they haven't gone up in a position, down in a position, just maintain 15. That's complacent.
In the context, yes, that is complete. It's being complacent. But if they're, because the happiness does matter. If they're happy,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it does matter. And to me, it does matter, because if you're happy in that spot, then no, you're not complacent, because you're happy and you're enjoying what you're doing,
and you're feeling like you're doing what you feel like you're supposed to be doing, and that's why I said that. You know, for example, go ahead, Mo. I'll give an example.
I was gonna say, so to me, they're not complacent, because if this is where they want to be, they've been there 15 years. They're at they're at what they feel is their max, their cap, and they're happy doing that. It's feeding them, it's paying their bills. They enjoy doing what they do. Then no, it's just a person who loves what they do and they enjoy doing what they do, and they're satisfied where they are. Satisfied and complacency is two different things. So you could be satisfied. They're satisfied. They're happy. This is them. They're enjoying,
and it may not be complacent. I wanted
to make sure that we were clear on what complacency was, just for argument's sake, because complacency is a noun, right? And the definition says a feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements.
Correct.
Exactly. Okay. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Go ahead, Flash. Go ahead.
No, and this is why I was like going against that notion, like, hey, 15 years automatically may equal complacency, because I may just be doing something for 15 years, but I'm still being fulfilled by what I'm doing. And that could be just like what I'm learning from the job, maybe who I'm helping. And there's certain things that it feeds into me to make me feel a certain way. And because like we're all looking to be fulfilled from something, there's nobody that can put a label on how that nobody can put a label, I guess, to make it seem like, hey, me being fulfilled this long, and you say it's not about happiness. I do say I think there's happiness that should be put into that equation, but at the same time, I don't look at it as complacent. I just look at it as you could be just satisfied. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I feel like we are using sloth and complacency interchangeably, but I don't think complacency is a negative thing. Just because you're complacent doesn't mean that's a negative thing. If you're happy and complacent, because by definition, complacent is to be satisfied with oneself. in one's achievements. If you're satisfied, it's not negative. Like it doesn't have to be negative.
So you
understand what I'm saying?
So the
you're
whole
happy with
point
being
this
lazy?
question. So that's the thing, though.
Not being lazy. You're happy with where you're at in your life.
So with this question, when you say when does complacency turn into sloth, you have to have something that says I'm not satisfied, or like I really want more for myself.
Ding 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 ding. Yes.
If you're not saying that, then you're just comfortable.
So can I give an example of that? So if you've been there 15 years and every day you're going to work, you're like, damn, I hate this, or man, if I was a supervisor, I wouldn't have to do this, but you have done nothing to try to become a supervisor. You continue to stay there. That's turning into sloth, because now you're lazy, but you're complaining about being in the spot that because of you have done nothing to progress yourself. You get what I'm saying? So to me, that would be, now I'm being lazy. I'm just sitting here being lazy. But I want to, I'm saying, damn, if I was here, man, if I was a supervisor, I wouldn't have to do this. I could just, delegate and do this stuff. But I'm just going to sit here. That's too much. I don't feel like going back to school. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm just going to sit here. Yes, that to me. Is now.
And even when I think of this, you got niggas who come into work and what they gonna do? Malinga, okay, and then they want to go home and shit, okay?
Yes,
Malinga.
You get stuff a ding for that.
That's when complacency turns into sloth.
Right.
Yeah,
that was good.
And I for you, Mash, I hear you use like how long you've been at a job and staying in the same position. And for you, that was what complacency was. But I think everybody else is saying that, we all see it as something different. And it may not even be complacency. You may not even see it as complacency. I've been in this job. I'm happy where I'm doing. I feel like I'm serving my life's purpose by doing this. I'm serving people by doing this, and I'm happy. And, I don't think that would be complacency to that person. And I think that's what matters. How do you feel like the definition fits for you?
Well, I think that the fact that we talked about the definition as a whole and the part where it said satisfaction, right? It said uncritical satisfaction with oneself. So if you're happy or you're satisfied with where you are, then
it's not complacency.
No, that is. It says
it is complacency. It's not sloth. It's not sloth. You're not lazy. It's just that you're happy.
Yeah, you're
uncritical of yourself. So complacency.
Yeah, you're complacent means it's not a negative. It's positive. You're complacent. I'm good. Complacent is like I'm good.
Negative or positive.
It could be right or positive, but complacent could also mean like, oh, I'm good. Like I'm great. I'm complacent. Like I'm straight.
But when negative,
every time I hear the word, I see it as a negative.
Exactly.
And it could be just our generation.
Because it's our generation. That's exactly what I was going to say.
All right, so the next question that I have for you guys is, since we're this move off of complacency, when was the laziest point in your life? When do you feel like you were the laziest in your life? When were you the most slothful?
Right now.
Tell us more.
I've been an ICU nurse for over 14 years now.
Okay,
I'm burnt out. I don't want to be a nurse anymore. I do feel like my passion to support people, to help people is still there. And I'm still working in that passion when I'm taking care of patients. But I feel like because I've been going through some health issues and I've been a patient, I no longer subscribe to like Western medicine anymore. Like I'm all into the spiritual, holistic medicine now, or health way of, or
nutrition.
Health way of living. Stuff like that. So all holistic, about body, mind, and spirit, not just your physical body and the science, or their science, I should say. So yeah, I feel like right now at my job, I dread going to work. I have a master's degree. I should not, what I'm doing is well below me, but I do feel like it does feed, like my passion. I do feel like it is my purpose on the lives that I touch. I do feel like I'm working in that aspect. And there's times that I come home and I'm very prideful and I'm really happy about, like what I've done to support families and patients. But if I were to like look at myself, like as I do for our generation, I'm like, oh my God, why are you still there? You hate it, you dread it. I feel like I'm very lazy at my job. I told them I don't want to be in charge anymore because I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't even get paid to be a charge nurse. You know what I mean? I have all this responsibility. No, well, I mean, my time in service does affect my salary, and I have a master's degree, and that affects my salary too. So I don't even give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to work harder and have this whole responsibility and do all this shit running around. And then when I'm sick, nobody gives a fuck about me. That's how I feel. That's really how I feel.
Questions. Take pause for a cause. Now, this is just bring attention to like the recent trend. There was some nurses saying some shit about how they felt about their patients, right?
Who?
It was a viral video about nurses who were saying on TikTok, they were talking about, they were complaining about the roles that they had to serve as being caretakers to people, right? And they lost their jobs because they said,
what did they say?
They were saying some shit like, you ring the bell 5 times and you really don't need any help. But so basically it's like, what grinds my gears about being a nurse? And they went public about how they feel about the things that grind their gears about being a nurse. And the hospitals found those nurses and fired them. Right. So my question to you,
they sure did.
The question is, do you think that that's fair for them to be fired because they spoke about how they feel about their experiences in the role? Do you think that those things go hand in hand? Are they allowed to express those feelings and keep that job? What are your thoughts on that?
This is a touchy one. You trying to get me fired, motherfucker. You trying to get me fired.
You the one talking this crazy shit. I don't fucking know what you're doing.
I'm going to respond and I'm going to add a caveat to mine, but go ahead.
I just feel like I can understand where the nurses are coming from because there are patients that are just, annoying and they just are on the call bell and just, sometimes they're confused and they're just on the call bell. Some of them just, can you push my pillow to the left? Can you push my pillow to the right? And you're just like, I have other patients. You know what I mean? So I get where nurses are coming from. But at the end of the day, the hospitals, believe it or not, it's customer satisfaction. You know what I mean? And they can choose to go to any other hospital. So unfortunately, I do feel like they should have a voice, but maybe not publicize it. I don't know.
I don't know.
I want to say this. I want to say this. I felt, well, and I could be wrong for that because I'm not sure. I'm not an attorney or anything like that. I feel like if they was home and they was expressing themselves, absolutely. They have that right to. I'm in my house. I can express myself. The issue was you were at work.
They were at work?
Yes.
Showing like the call bell lighting up and they don't want to answer
they were at work and they were in their uniform. Okay. And they was talking about this while they're at work. So one can take the notion of you're on social media as opposed to attending to a patient.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying? Facts. Instead of, I'm just saying you're on social media doing all. I'm just saying what they can really pick up on it. Right. They were at work in their uniform doing this, as opposed to me sitting at my house and giving my opinion about my work. You can't find. I'm at my house. I'm not at the job. I'm saying how I feel about my job. But you're at the work. You're in the hospital and you're saying these things. So that's probably how they got them, by saying, okay, number one, you're at work. You're on social media when you should be working. You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I don't know the context or the background.
But there's also downtime. I mean, everybody has a job where there's downtime. And
of course there's downtime, but I may be. It just looks worse.
Not really.
And I may be. What I'm saying is, but what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, and even if it's a downtime, right? And I'm talking about social media, I'm talking about something else. But I'm not talking about my work. While I'm on my downtime at work. See, I could be talking about anything else. So that's to me where it got a little tricky.
It got a little messy.
It got a little messy.
Yeah.
It got a little messy.
Well,
I think they should be free to say what they want to say. Absolutely. But
absolutely, yo. For me, the laziest time of my life was when I was in, I'm gonna say junior high school. Like junior high school, I felt like I felt like at that point, my work had started to get a little harder, and my mom couldn't really help me with it anymore. So she just was letting me get away with murder. I was doing whatever I wanted to do. I was failing classes. And the crazy thing is, it's not that I couldn't do it. It's just that I didn't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? And then going back and just looking at like how easily I could have passed these classes and how little I had to do to pass these classes, and my unwillingness to do that little bit, that I felt like that was a really lazy point in my life.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I feel you on that, Shake. I was gonna say for me it was college. I don't know what it is, but I feel like at least I know. I know a part of why I did good in school especially when I was younger, especially like junior high school and shit, I was afraid of getting my ass whooped, just to be honest. And I feel like that was motivation enough for me to want to make sure I was being studious and I was attending classes properly. Like, I used to get all the fucking little awards and shit, Eagle Awards and attendance awards. And it's funny because I would, they would pull you into the auditorium and you would stand up and be like, for the best attendance. And it'd be like me and like three other, kids. And I'm sitting here like, you see that?
Mo
What
is
did
with
Jamaicans
you.
do? What did Jamaicans do?
Yeah, all Jamaicans. Yeah,
Mo is with
they might
you.
have been. They might have been. I'm not
Me
even sure.
too. I had perfect attendance in
Yeah,
school.
but I knew
Not me. I was cutting school every fucking Friday.
But look, you see, but that wasn't me. And I feel like when I got to college now, this is why I say I think I became more lazy in college, because I wasn't driven by nothing that said, hey, you need to succeed. There wasn't nobody that was going to be, especially like, threatening me about, you got to go to school and this, that, and the third. It's like, I'm here now. Let me see and figure a lot of life out. And I feel like because I didn't have a trajectory on what even I wanted to do in life, there was no inspiration on my part. Yeah, I might have been interested in some things, but I feel like the laziness definitely came from like, you're not focused on anything. Like, yeah, you're here, but you don't even really want to be here at the same time. And I think that's why I know like a lot of my grades fucking flunked and shit. And it's not because, I couldn't do the work. It was the fact that I didn't want to do the work. I didn't see a
What
need.
was your major?
I was a political science major once again. And this was me
Were you
taking
connected to that though? Did you want to do that?
I was connected to it because I felt like that's what I was told. You know what I'm saying? My
Talk
family,
about it.
especially my mom, like, I feel like there was certain like meta information that she was always feeding me that was like,
Be a
doctor,
lawyer.
whatever.
Yes, Caribbean. Yep.
Like, yeah, because like they see the industries that probably had money and shit like that. So of
Yep.
course they're gonna want to gravitate they children to something that they say like, yo, there's a lot of money over here. You can succeed over here. This is where I want to point you to. But it didn't align with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here and I'm doing something and it's not inspirational to me. It's not feeding me in a way that I feel like, damn, let me do some of the hard work. So I found myself being super lazy. I know I found myself hanging out, more so than what I wanted, cutting class. And I'm seeing like this is like the first time I'm cutting class, because I was not a class cut in high school and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over here like, yo, this is what it feel like in college.
But that's the worst time in college, Flash.
Right.
This is when you're paying for it. This is when it's like, this is going to be the trajectory of your entire life.
Yeah.
It didn't matter before that.
And-
Junior high and high school didn't matter. You didn't understand that part or what?
So here's what fucked me up too. And I think it was because, yeah, I did go to community college, and I know my mom paid maybe the first, I want to say 2 semesters. More than 2, maybe like three or 4 semesters. And so part of me was also like, I'll figure out what happens. I thought I had like a longer time span to figure it out, but then when I started paying for college by myself now too, now I'm sitting here like, oh, this money's going towards what? The fact that I could think, oh, this shit different, so I feel like I started to maybe strap on my boots a little bit too late. And it was like, no, you already was super lazy because you thought like you was gonna have a cruise, in this shit. You thought you was too smart for your own britches type of shit. So yeah, I'll just say like for me that's what kind of caused me to not, or I feel like that's where I was at my laziest. The fact that I was not motivated in college. I didn't have anything that I wanted to focus on. I didn't have any direction. And I think that was even just the wrong time for me to even be in college at sometimes. But then I wouldn't have met like these, Shake and Spew God and shit. But knock on wood. But yeah, that's when
Can
I
I
was
say something real quick before you go, Mash? I just want to say that's why I don't want to pay for my children's college, by the way.
Why?
Because I want them to figure out how to pay for it, because I feel like when somebody else pays for anything that supports you, you don't have any onus in it. And so you don't really care. Like I've watched kids study, and I don't know shade to anyone that's a sociology major or communications or something that, like you get out and you can't find a job or something, like, or you did not care about school because everybody else was paying for it, or you wanted to study, I don't know, music, and you did nothing with it, because you didn't have to pay for it. I feel like that's what happens. And that's why I was like, I will never pay for my kids' college. I saw my sister do that.
So I wouldn't.
My mom.
I would pay for my kids' college, but I definitely understand what you're saying in the sense of like you care for it more when it's yours. Like you care for it when it's coming from you a lot of the times.
I've always said I will save money for them. And I will never tell them, but I want them to figure out how they're going to pay for school, how they're going to, make sure that they, it's on them. And I will give them money to like support them, but I will not let them know that that's what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. I agree.
Yeah.
One of my laziest points in life was definitely I think in school, I don't think I put my best foot forward in like junior high school. Not even junior high school, in high school. Because my grandma used to tell me I got 4 brains. And I used to believe that shit. So I thought I was too smart. So I didn't really like apply myself the way I probably should have.
Where were the 4 brains?
All in my head. All in my head. All in my head. She's telling me I was math smart. But anyway.
Sizing you up, bro.
Yeah. I think it's important to speak shit like that in the children. Like children need to
hear
things like that.
Size them up.
Because your words have power and it fucking develops into all types of amazing things when you put it into the universe. So the fact that she would tell me I have 4 brains, I knew I wasn't using all 4 of them brains in school, right? Yeah. But I knew I was doing good enough because in my generation, I was one of the first people to go to college in my family, right? Wow. And I was one of the first people to finish college in my family. So I knew that the bar wasn't as high as it probably should have been as far as other family circles go. So I knew I was doing just enough, right? But I knew I could do more. And it wasn't until I went to college and I was failing. I wanted to be a political science person, but I kept failing economics. I failed that shit 2 times and I was like, this shit ain't for me. And then my father was like, you gonna go on academic probation? You gonna pay for this shit. I'm not paying for you to be on academic probation. And that shit whipped me into the first gear. I was like, all right, well, look, I want a degree and I need to pay for it. So I got to go to school. Right. So that fixed that part. But I was really lazy because I knew I could do better, but I just didn't. I regret it now as an adult because I remember all my friends when they took their Regents exam and they was studying for it and they was ready and they was passing and getting accepted to colleges away. I was like, damn, man, I should have applied myself so I could have those college type experiences. So I wound up going to community college. I mean, the other side of the coin is I'm debt free. You know what I mean? I ain't got no student tuition, going
I am too, and I went away.
You know what I mean?
I'm debt free.
But I think it's really important. I think it's really important that we understand that there is a trade-off. Right. There's always a trade-off for the experiences that you have. So I would really hope that if I do decide to have children, that they get tuitions, scholarships, so that they could have someone else pay for their education because there's money out there for you. If you have a certain skill or a sport that you'll excel in, or there's something that, you can contribute to that place that you're going to, please, by all means, explore that. But if you got to pay for it out of pocket, you're going to grind hard. You're going to put that extra effort into that shit to make sure that you get what you're supposed to get out of that shit because shit ain't cheap. And not cheap at all.
It ain't cheap. Real talk.
So I'm complete.
All right. I guess I'm the last one. When was the laziest point in my life? Maybe after college because I'm transitioning. You're trying to figure out what you want to do after that or where you're gonna go. So, yeah, I'm thinking that, and then I kind of feel like now too because I feel like there's other things that I could do.
Yeah.
On the side, but it's just like.
Yeah.
So I would say those 2 particular points and right now because it's shit that I could be doing, honestly.
Would you say it's your fear? Because I think that's what you said as the definition in the first question. Would you think it's your fear?
With the second stuff, not really, a little bit, but I'm not going to put it. It's the time that I'm really thinking about, but creating time to do it. But it's, especially with the podcast now, but it would be virtual if I were to do it anyway. But it's still creating time because I'll be doing it after work or perhaps on the weekends too. So,
I think
so it's a little laziness there. It is a little laziness there.
I think sloth can sneak into your life at any moment. Matter of fact, it's sneaking into our lives as we speak. Like sloth can sneak into our life as far as us wanting to work out more, but we won't do it because you're just lazy.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying. And it's up to you to put yourself on notice. You know what I mean? Like you have to recognize the sloth, and you have to put yourself on notice that what I'm gonna do better and try to come up with a plan. And then see yourself doing better because it's one thing to say you're going to do better. And it's another thing to actually create a plan for you to do better. You feel what I'm saying?
You hit the nail on the head, Shake. I think self-reflection is clutch in order for you to address any of these sins that you happen to be experiencing, right? You got to be able to sit and assess what the break is. Like, where am I falling short in my growth as an individual? 100%. I agree with you. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, fair.
I want to swing over to my next talking point to you, gang. And I guess, since my homegirl Mo went last, I'm going to ask you this first. Do you ever feel guilty when you're unproductive on your day off, Mo?
I'm going to say no because I work hard. I work hard.
Talk to him.
I feel like that should have been a better question.
And I know as much, and I'm being real, and I could be transparent with myself. As much shit as I talk about what I'm not doing, I work hard, and I go above and beyond when I'm at work. So if I have a day off, I fucking deserve it.
That's a hard F.
I'm just saying.
That's
how.
Yeah.
Fucking deserve that.
I deserve it.
Yeah.
I deserve it. So if I want to lay in the bed and dig up my nose all day,
talk about it.
I'm just saying. I'm just using that analogy. But if I want to do that,
each his own.
Yeah, but if I want to do that, if I want to scratch my ass all day and watch it, then I have the right to do that. It's my day off. I don't want to do nothing work related, and I don't feel like I should feel guilty for having a day off.
Yeah.
Name something that you do that's super unproductive for the day.
Go back and catch up on TV.
TV.
I watch Ratchet TV because and I always say that to people when I go home. I watch Ratchet TV because my job is so intense. You're dealing with children, you're dealing with abuse, you're dealing with stuff like that. I don't want to see nothing serious. I want to go home and laugh and I want to turn over. I want to laugh. So I'm watching either a comedy or something ratchet where I'm just what's making me laugh. That's what I like to do.
Or entertain you.
Yeah, that's gonna entertain me because I'm dealing with people, with children's lives and courts and attorneys and things of that nature. So
TJ,
this should have been a burner question for sure.
TJ,
what do I do?
Do you feel guilty when you have unproductive day off?
Absolutely.
No, her ass laying naked.
Okay. And you ask me what I do. It's the Hitachi behind my pillow. There's days that I just fucking masturbate all day, baby. Hitachi. And I do, and I don't give a fuck because I work hard, like Mo says too, and I like to give myself days off. I mean, I only work 7 days a month. No bad days.
Right.
But there are days that I literally just masturbate all fucking day, and I don't mind it.
Today I don't feel like.
Can I tell you something? Do you know how much of a fucking superpower that is? I wish I could say I woke up and I masturbated all day. I literally, I don't have number one. I don't have enough juice in me. It's impossible. It's gonna run out eventually. Okay, either it's gonna run out or it's gonna give up on me.
I gotta challenge that. So wait for the fellas.
No, I'm talking about all day. All day, bro.
Hear me. When you say all, hear me out. Yeah. Now, when I'm thinking about an all day session for myself personally, right? It would have to be
you wake up. That's the first thing.
But then it has to be broken into quarters of the day. It had to be 8 o'clock. I hit back at 12 o'clock. I swing back around at 4 o'clock. I go back around 7, 8.
Exactly.
That's what I think of when I think all day. When you think
that's
all day.
Okay. Yo, that's exactly what I mean by all day.
Yeah, that's all day.
But I would be, but my thing is, if I'm freaking jerking off all day, I would be so ashamed of myself at the end of the day.
Would you?
Get a handle on yourself. Get a fucking handle.
No. Well, what about the unproductive day with your partner? Don't you all love the day where you have nothing to do and you're with your partner and y'all fuck all day? Y'all don't got shit to do.
That I could do.
That is the best.
And
you don't feel bad about that. So you get to work on your self-love, King.
I need a day.
You get to work on self-love because you feel okay if you're doing it with a partner, but not for yourself.
No, if I'm masturbating all day though, son, I feel
just like you would fuck all day if you were
even
with
if I
fuck
all day, I would feel unproductive and shit. I can do half a day. I can't do the whole fucking day. I gotta be productive.
I keep it a stack for you. If we going down this road, a full day of no one bothering me, I'm home alone with no interruptions. I'm gonna have it fired up in the living room on the big screen with the volume all the way up. It's gonna be a lazy day. All right.
You
know it's a lazy day when you're not in a rush to clean up.
Oh yeah.
Right after you finish, you just there's no rush. There's no. I'm gonna get to it when I get to it. On you. You just be chilling. You looking at the paper towel I'll get it. I'll get it in a minute.
Where is it at though?
I know those
doesn't
things.
matter.
On the table.
It's my day off. It's my day off.
You better put a black light to his living room.
It's my day off.
Yo,
I think it's different. I think it's different for all of us.
Yeah. Wait, who next? Who next?
You gonna ask why? You gonna answer for that?
Do I feel so? No, Shake. I feel you though. I do feel unproductive on my days off, or do I feel guilty actually? So I share the sentiment of Mo. I don't feel guilty. I'm a type of person where I know how hard I work in terms of. I'm not even just talking like work at my job. Like it's talking about like spiritual work, physical work, mental work, and I know how hard I work sometimes. And I know, yes, there are gonna be days that, and granted, I haven't done a full day in a while. I've really been decent with at least being productive in some sort of way. It doesn't matter whether I'm talking about like cleaning or studying or doing something. But I know in the moments where it's like I'm gonna stay in bed till like 1, 2, 3 o'clock. I deserve them days. I deserve them days. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
So I do. Yeah. And granted, I never think laziness is a bad thing. Just to say like, hey, I'm being lazy. But yes, anything that you kind of have in excess or you're kind of like overdoing, that's kind of where it gets crazy. But I enjoy being lazy because once again, I think it's just a part of like that scale that I'm trying to measure. It's like, for as hard as you work, do you also give yourself time to relax at times? And yeah, so look, I play video games in between work and shit because nobody gonna tell me shit because nobody knows how hard I'm working. You know, nobody's gonna say you don't deserve. Eat a dick, okay, and carry on. Because once again, when I do something for myself, it's because I deserve it a lot of the times.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. I don't think we need to use the word lazy. It's self-care.
Right.
You get to have, you get to give yourself
and we use
the
that
rest.
term at job.
You use the word relax, self-care, taking care of yourself, giving yourself some time. And the minute you feel like maybe I should be doing a little bit more, or your neck hurt because you've been laying down all day, or your pussy hot, or the vibrator burning off your leg and shit, then you're like, okay, maybe I'm doing a little too much. You know what I'm saying? But when you feel you're doing too much, but if it feels good and you feel like you need it, listen to your body, sis.
Right.
Listen to your body, King.
Okay? Absolutely. And that's what we'll say. We'll say, like, even at my job, we'll be like, yo, I'm taking a self-care day. Meaning, we take it off. Like, because you want to make it feel like wherever your self-care is, whether it's laying down, whether it's going out, whether it's working out, whether it's going to the spa, whatever it is, take that time for yourself. Shit, you know.
That's why some people malinga so they could take a self-care day.
Facts.
Give them a break.
I'm not even gonna hold you. I do feel guilty when I'm not being productive on my day off. I do, because I feel like I'm wasting time. Like there's some time that it could be spent to get, because in my mind, I'm task and solution orientated, right? So I have a list of things that I want to take care of. Even if it's playing a video game, I know I want to put some time into this game because I want to finish this game, right? Or if it's a book that I'm reading, I want to put some time into reading this book because I want to finish this book. So when I don't take advantage of those opportunities to make progression in those things, I do feel guilty about it.
100%.
You know, I do feel like 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm complete as far as that goes.
Okay. So for me, okay, I think self-care is necessary. I really believe self-care is necessary, but there's a point where self-care turns into sloth. All right. And my thing is, for me, when I have a list of things to do, like Mash was saying, and I agree with him, things that I wanted to complete, and I have this long ass list of shit, and all day I decide that I'm gonna sit there and watch TV. You know what I'm saying? It comes to a point where now, you know what? I'm just being fucking lazy. Okay, I can actually get this done. I could get this done, and I could get to it, but I don't want to because I want to sit here and watch the rest of Shameless. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, but like, and it doesn't take a lot of energy out of you to get this done. And then now you back at work and you don't have time anymore. I feel like I missed that opportunity.
Right.
It'd be basic shit. It'd be basic shit like laundry, doing the dishes. Cleaning your house, like you're like, fuck, man. Like, yo, I missed that opportunity now. Now I gotta fucking fit it into my day. And it just you have to I feel like self-care is a balance. And you need to try to balance it out. And you, like, while you're doing that self-care, you need to pay attention to the little things you may be able to get done. That's not going to stress you out. That's not gonna push you over the edge because you've been working all week. Because I know you guys work hard. Everybody works hard, and everybody deserves a break. But I'm be honest with you, I look at some of the really successful people out there, and I know that they put in the hard work. And I feel like I have to put in that hard fucking work, and it is what it is. I don't get these fucking days off right now. Work hard now so I can have fun later.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel that I should be, but that's not always how it is. Because sometimes I'm just tired. You know what I'm saying?
Balance is 100% key. Go ahead.
A lot of that is ego for me too. Like shit, I feel like somebody's outworking me. Like I feel like if it's a competition and whatever this thing is, like I feel like to be good, you need to have a bar, right? I feel like you need to have a role model or a goal in mind, and like it took that person no days off to get to where they at, right? And I'm here taking days off. I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna catch up, or how am I gonna compete with that person who's working so fucking hard if I'm here dragging my feet? Like that's another part of that feeling of guilt that comes along with not taking action, with the time you got available.
The procrastination.
To you.
It's
I
a balance.
You know what it is? I'll tell you this. I do feel guilt sometimes at first, but I've been doing like a bunch of practices, especially when I'm thankful for a lot of the shit that I've probably like stopped paying attention to at times. And it's like sometimes you gotta like I try to show gratitude in the sense of like this is the reasons why sometimes yes you kind of deserve to kick back a little bit and relax, because sometimes we could be consumed with just like either our work or our passions and dreams and shit that we do like forego the self-care that needs to sometimes be a bit lazy. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are still so tied to our work when we're trying to relax and shit. And it's like, no, sometimes you need to kind of cut off certain distractions from work and all this other shit to truly like be relaxed, So I just feel like it looks different for I guess for how we try to be lazy.
And a lot of entrepreneurs or successful people, I should say, always talk about time is money. How are you spending your time? And so they say, so there should be a balance, right? You shouldn't be masturbating all day. You can masturbate all day, but make sure your next day is productive.
Cut it in half. Cut masturbate half the day. Half the day.
How about this? You get some work done, and then you masturbate to congratulate yourself. Like, oh,
right. Exactly. That too.
That's a good one. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me.
System.
Exactly.
I need the whole day sometimes.
But don't malinga. You can reward yourself, but don't malinga.
Okay. I just feel like it's okay. It's okay to have balance. For me, it works for my schedule. I could take a whole day of masturbating, and doing absolutely nothing and relaxing my body. But the next day, I make sure that and you guys know me. I'm the ice queen. I create by-when dates. I have a to-do list. I do not come by 4. Yeah.
But TJ brought up a really good word, procrastination. Son, that's the word.
That's a word, yeah.
Procrastination.
Now
procrastination is the enemy of I forget what there's a whole saying. It's the enemy of
a lot of shit.
Because when you're constantly doing this self-care, understandably, like I said, it turns into sloth when it's procrastination, because you have this task to get done, right? But you're constantly just taking off whenever you have free time instead of actually doing this task that you have to get done. That's procrastination. And that right there, that's a negative thing. That's when self-care turns into sloth for me.
All right, gang. So let's move on to our next talking point, and then let's wrap it up after this one. This is the last talk point.
All right, talk to me.
Have you ever had lazy sex?
Oh, I already said this. Oh, lazy sex. Oh no, that's different.
Tell me when you said that. Tell me when you said that.
Yeah, no. I've had lazy day. No. I don't think I have lazy sex.
Have you ever had it?
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna be real. I think I'm pretty sure I have. I'm pretty sure if I was really tired, but again, I didn't do it, I would. Then that to me is lazy. Well, I'm not putting in my 100%. I may be putting
your all. Give it your all.
I ain't giving it my all, but I'm giving it something. So it could be lazy sex if I'm getting tired, but he really wants it. So I may be on my side, like throwing it back, but like I'm tired.
Yeah, let me tell you. So can I tell y'all something?
Go ahead, bro.
When I think of women, like when you saying that, I feel like I call them like starfish, or they call that like starfish or whatever the case is.
Oh, okay. The pillow princess.
You said which one?
Pillow princess.
Yeah, whatever they want to call them. But in my mind, sometimes when I see myself having sex with women who are being lazy, I think of like how dogs be just like pounding out their little toys and shit, and it's like the toy don't even fight back. It's just taking
you gonna put in that work. You gonna get that nut.
I'm putting in work, and I'm saying like you ain't even gonna do nothing. Like, but I get it, and I've seen women be lazy, especially like when you talking about like the 3-4 a.m. drunk lazy nights, and she just like just use me, you know, or whatever the case is. And I'm saying like, all right, because I got energy for this shit,
and that's a good point, Flash. Not to the drunk sex is not that I'm being lazy. I'm finished. I can't.
Right.
But you go ahead, But I just can't help. I'm done. Yeah.
Yo. So some women use that shit as an excuse. Let me tell you something, man. Yo,
Sounds
women
like
be lazy. Women be lazy as fuck when it comes to sex. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I have to put in that work to get my nut. Like sometimes I ain't even gonna hold you. Sometimes it be so hard to get my nut. I don't have the energy to do that shit. Like I be trying to get to it. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes my nut. Sometimes my nut requires more energy than I'm willing to give. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. You know what I'm saying? But women and shit, women can get it without doing a lot and shit. And because they know I'm gonna put in that work and shit.
Right. They escape a lot more, Shake. I agree with you. They escape a lot more situations knowing that they could just go, whoop,
just lay there.
Or you know, they'll time like how long they want to suck a dick for, or ride a dick, and then they'll just be like, all right. You know?
So you there.
Wrap it up. I did 5
My legs giving away.
We always the closers like 99% of the time. We always got to close, okay?
Yo, how many of y'all have had problems with women when you told them to ride you? Like, yo, you get on top now. And then they fucking do that shit for 2 minutes. And now they want to switch positions, hit it from the back. Yeah. They always want to switch to hit it from the back.
My thing is even like, when you automatically want me to get on top, I know this is gonna be an all me mission. Like I all know that once I'm like, how do you want it? Missionary? All right. This is gonna be all
I do say one time, like I don't like to start on top for me personally. I don't like to start because I need to be into it. Then I'll get on top.
You can finish that way.
But I don't want to start on top. Huh?
What do you prefer to start?
Anyway, I could start anyway. I just don't want to start on top. I like I'll go in the middle. Yeah, I could do anything in the beginning. I just don't want to start on top first.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, because I ain't even gonna lie, son. I was fucking with this chick one time and shit. And she rode me the entire time we fucked, and I had like one of them henny dick nights and shit. So you know what I'm saying. For those who don't know what henny dick is, that means you can't nut. That means you can't nut.
I'd have been
just hard the whole time. So,
but is she coming? Was she coming
multiple times? So Shorty was riding me and shit. And this is going back to Uber cruise and shit. When this chick was riding me the whole time, like I was fucking this chick on the top deck during the concert and shit. And when I tell you this bitch rode me, now I wasn't being lazy because I picked the bitch up a few times and shit and ate her out while she was in the air. Yeah, that's right. That was the work right there. That was the work.
Okay.
But
shorty workout.
But the fact that she rode me the whole time, I was so appreciative of all the work she put in because I'm so used to chicks not putting in work. So when women do that shit, I really appreciate it. Like when they ride me the whole, I do. Like you did, and then at the end, I didn't really think about it until the end. I was like, "Damn, girl, you did all the work." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "You did so good," and I really do appreciate that when women put in work, then when they try to put in work.
That's good to know. So
that's good to know.
Go ahead, TJ. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Flash.
No, I was gonna say like what lazy sex is for me though. In terms of my experience, personally, I think I have a little too much pride at times, and it doesn't allow me to have like lazy sex when it comes to penetration per se. So I think a lot of the times when I think lazy sex, it's when I kind of say, "Yo, just give me some head." Like I just want my dick sucked. I just want to nut in your mouth or something like that, and I want to go to sleep or I want to lay down. And those are great sessions, by the way. Don't get it twisted.
Those are amazing sessions. I love that.
So, but I think that's what I think of when I think of lazy sex for me.
Flash,
I get that, Flash.
You ever get the inclination that you're gonna have a lazy session with a woman? Like
all the time. I know exactly when. I can tap into that shit.
So for me, how I know it's gonna be a lazy session when the head starts with the lollipop licks. When the head just purely lollipops, you like, you good? You know what it's when she just start, she got her head down, she just start just jacking the shit. She's not even trying to set no more.
Yeah, that's how you just put your mouth on it, you start jerking it like I'm trying to get there. Hurry this shit the fuck up.
And I'm looking at her like, I could see your mouth is not on me. I could see your mouth is not on me. So
I thought y'all like that.
Nah, whatever. Yeah.
No,
nah, but yo,
it's not. We like it, but we can see the look of defeat in a lot of women's faces sometimes. It's like when they struggling.
Well, hurry up and fucking come, nigga. Shit.
Exactly, that shit. Lockjaw is a motherfucker. Let me tell you.
Misplaced joy and shit.
That's when she being lazy. She be like, oh, I got lockjaw. That's that lazy shit right
no,
there.
No, lockjaw is a motherfucker.
She keep pointing her face.
I see dislocated jaw as an opportunity, bitch. Keep it open. Yo, but as a dude who don't nut from head and shit, the option for me to be lazy during sex is not really there. Like that shit fucking upsets me that I can't nut from head because of my trauma, because of my previous trauma. I can't. So
share the trauma. This is a safe space.
This is a safe space.
I'm gonna joke with you, but go ahead.
I can't. I figured it out later in my life that I don't nut from head, right?
Why?
From an experience that I had when I was 16. This young lady used to come over and suck my dick regularly, right? And you know, it wasn't regularly, it just had just started and shit. And maybe about the third time she did it, you know, I had the great idea to nut in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? I heard it in a Biggie Small song. I thought it would be great. I figured like this is gonna be awesome. So she's giving me head. Boom! I nutted in her mouth and shit.
How long into the head?
I probably maybe 10 minutes into the head. I was 16. Okay, that's decent. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So Shorty was so fucking angry, son. She was so angry that I nutted in her mouth and didn't say shit. She went and cleaned her mouth and she was like, fucking never again. And I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm sorry. Like, I thought you would like it. Like, my bad. No, I didn't say I thought you would like it. I said, I didn't realize I was about to come. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's everybody's go-to. That's everybody's go-to. My bad. I didn't know.
That's a lie.
I didn't realize.
If that was a lie, you were lying.
So Shorty never gave me head again, son. Bro. And that shit was just like, I was like, I will never do that shit again. I will never.
She got your masters. She got your masters, bro. You got to go find it now. So
this was my trauma.
Treat you like Puff right now.
That doesn't make sense.
I was like, and then so I started. So it be little shit that caused trauma throughout the rest of the
life. So you felt like girls didn't enjoy it, and that's why they didn't want you to come in their mouth.
I thought it would exactly. So I decided that I was no longer gonna do that.
You gotta let that hurt go, bro.
So you don't even get your mindset there. Is what
bro.
I can't get my mind. I've tried, and I've had amazing head.
Yo, Shake, this is a good time in your life, bro. You should go to a sex therapist, bro. I'm telling you, man. She's gonna like wave her hand over your dick or some shit, and she's gonna find a way to she's gonna suppress that memory for you or some shit, bro.
You know, the only reason I remember that I had trauma is because this young lady, I was speaking to this girl about sex. I talk to me about sex all the time. But I was speaking to this girl about sex, one of my friends, and she said she used to squirt. But then when she was a teenager, she was fucking this dude and she squirted on him. And the guy was like, ew, you're fucking disgusting. This is like pee and shit. And then she started to repress her squirting and now she can no longer do it. And then I was like, shit, that's fucking what happened to me. Maybe that's why I don't fucking nut from head anymore.
She took your powers, bro.
I used to nut from head. You know what I'm saying? And as a matter of fact, that was the first person that I didn't. That's the first person that gave me head that I was able to nut. Like this is I'm just coming into nutting.
You know what's crazy, bro? I think the Lord that I ain't have no traumatic experience like that. I want to take a second to shout out the throat goats in my life who have helped me through this journey, and they have been so well
double bomb for them. Double bomb for them.
Yeah, double bomb for the throat goats. That definitely helped you get to where you got.
You missing out, bro.
I just feel like there are people in my mind that I will always remember that have heightened my experiences. And I'm like, you know what? Shout out to XYZ because now the bar is here. You know what I mean? The bar is here now, and anything that falls short of this is like, damn. Nah, she's always gonna have my mask.
So Shake, I'm gonna be honest, bro. You've never even experienced like having a woman just like drink your seed, and you don't understand how fulfilling that.
No. I will fuck. No, the thing is, I'll fuck them, and then I pull out, and then I put it in my mouth.
It's not the same.
It's not. But I've done that. I pull out and I put it in your mouth.
You're broken, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it's not fulfilling as a woman either, though. Like I want you to come, just like how men want you to come to. I mean, I feel like men want women to come, so I feel like as a woman, I do want you to come when I'm sucking your dick. Like it makes me feel like I'm not doing it right, or I'm not, satisfying you. So I want you to focus and come.
It's definitely not the same, Flash. I'm glad you mentioned it, because there's a certain feeling of knowing that a woman is doing this. Like you are the champ right now. You are doing an amazing job, and I'm gonna reward you.
She's expecting it.
I'm gonna reward you, and she desires that reward. That's what made it different for me. It was that the intent behind the action makes it even more exciting versus me being able to have to like pull from where I'm at and then dump there. It's completely different type of experience in my mind.
No, because like she came for this. She came to understand there'll be no fucking done here.
Yeah. This is for you. This is for you. Yeah. Completely different.
Real shit.
So does everybody get their answer? Have they ever had lazy sex?
The answer is yes, I guess, for everybody. Yeah.
All right.
No, I guess it wasn't yes for me. I said I can't. I don't.
No, you said you can't. Well, I'm not saying you per se, but for your female, right? But you said females gave you lazy sex, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not you providing the lazy sex.
Yeah, exactly.
We get it. HSD.
HSD. This nigga don't want to tarnish his record. He's like,
Exactly.
Anyway, hurt me out here. Just
put in that work.
Slow.
We get you, baby. We get you.
Undefeated.
When they pop out, they gotta have maling. Don't fuck. They can't.
Try
to shoot a buzzer beater.
Lock it up.
All right, so thank you so much, Tribe, for joining us for another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. TJ, would you like to give the tribe another
TJ, take
20
us out
30 as we head
leave.
out?
Of course, Tribe. Thank you for listening to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. We drop new episodes every Wednesday, everywhere you hear podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon. Please follow us on our social media. We're on IG at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on Twitter at So Ratchet Pod, and on YouTube, where you can see our beautiful and handsome faces and our personalities. On YouTube at So Ratchet Space Podcast. Hit the like button right now. Hit the follow button right now. Hit the share button right now. The notifications bell right now. Any button you hit right now to support us, we appreciate it. Share us with a friend. Thank you so much for listening. And I am complete.
We love you, Tribe.
Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy.
Wait. We gotta say the word of the week.
It's looking like a three-way tie between me, Flash, and Mash. You know what I'm saying? So are we going to do the face-off real quick? Are we doing the face-off real quick?
Face-off.
Let's go.
I ain't even gonna hold you. Last time Shorty tried to fuck me, I had to malinga my way out the situation.
Oh, I like it. Oh.
Okay.
What you got?
What you got?
I got something. All right, so when I asked my boss why I didn't get a raise this year, he said, quite frankly, I feel like you've been malingering.
Okay. That was in the context.
He's excited.
What you got, man?
Come on, man.
I really wanted to go on vacation, but they said I was malingering, so they wouldn't give me PTO.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it counts. But all right, TJ and Mo, who you got on the win?
Flash.
Can y'all do it again? I like because he used it in the context of work. That's why I would like shake. But Flash,
Mo,
you had a better. I just said I like shake.
Well, this is what the clarity queen does. She always gives two answers.
I pick Flash.
Yeah. All right. So wait.
So Flash won.
TJ, Flash didn't win because TJ picked.
Good job, Flash.
Flash. And Mo threw up the two cards and shit again. Like
I did because the word was in context. The definition was in context. Of work. That's why I said.
Good job, Flash. Good job, Flash.
Flash is the winner. I said.
Thank you, Tribe. We love you, Tribe. Thank you so much for listening to us.
I wouldn't be the queen of clarity if I did.
That's a fact. Don't on her shit ever. We love you, Tribe. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
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 All right.